The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by the Ohio Veterinary Medical Center, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, Dublin Valley Farms, Stable.ca, and Midland Acres. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
Good afternoon. I'm Trish Soulsby, and I'm trackside at the Morgan County Fair in Mconnellsville, Ohio. I'm joined today.
Yes, we do, and we'll have all those changes for you coming up. We got them all into the graphics, so we're good that way with all the changes. And we should be set to rock and roll with everything we got going today. We're looking forward to a nice day of racing. Beautiful day. The track's in pretty good shape considering all the rain they got here last night after we left. The rain was so heavy they had to cancel the tractor pull. Something you never want to do, but it was just they could not do it. In fact, around the first turn today, I'm trying to get a shot of it, it's a little bit slick. There was some standing water this morning when I got here and walked across the track. You can see there as it goes around. Other than that, the track looked in pretty good shape. As we get set to go, Roger Houston, our announcer today, calling them out as we get set for our first race of the day.
At today's race card, we do have a pretty strong breeze, but it's a sunny skies at the moment.
You can see there as it goes around. Other than that, the track looked in pretty good shape as we get set to go. Roger Houston, our announcer today, calling them out as we get set for our first race of the day.
Today's race card, we do have a pretty strong breeze.
4 out, 2 to go.
Sunny skies at the moment. But Roger Houston will whip him into shape to get that post parade in order. I am sure of that. We do have the track records we can tell you about that we'll be going against today. And for trotters, we have an all-age trot record. That's 2 minutes and 4/5. That was set in 2017 by Rose Run Sydney. Rose Run Sydney was trained by Steve Carter. I think he has a horse in today on the program as well. And driven by Ryan Holton. So that is 7 years old. We'll see whether anybody can do any damage to that today. The all-age pace, I do believe, was set a year later, 2018. Yes, that's right. And that was Cast-A-Light Rock. That one was trained by Brett Schwartz and driven by Cam McCowan. And the time for that all-age pace record is 1:57.1. So 2 minutes and 4/5 on the trot and 1:57.1 on the pace.
Did you mention drivers and trainers winners from yesterday by any chance?
No, I did
I've
not.
got
so
that.
fill us in.
We had 4 drivers with 2 wins yesterday each. Brady Clemens, David Young II, Christian Myers, and John Ryan Melsheimer each had 2 victories each. Drew Neal had a win. Alex Hawk had 1 win, and Mike Lowe had 1 win. Training-wise, 3 trainers doubled up. Eric Nesselrode, John Ryan Melsheimer, and Steve Carter. Mike Lowe, Gerald Lee, Tim Van Horn, Rosie Weaver, and Earl Owings each had 1 win.
I believe that Alex Hawk is the beneficiary of a few driver changes today. And Drew Neal, he's been pretty hot of late.
And we are going to have our national anthem now, so we will pick up that for you.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So there was our national anthem. When I got here this morning, they were having a veterans ceremony in the grandstand. So they had a lot of the veterans here. In fact, right in front of us here is the kind of bandstand that they had. You can see there the emblems of all of our military branches of the service. So it was a very nice ceremony this morning. As we get set for the post parade, let's go to Roger.
For the first race, Southern Valley Colt Circuit 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Trot, $11,335, trophy by Morris Hardware. Number 1, All That Class with Jeremy Moore. The 2, Here's Arthur, Charles Bolin. The 3, 80+80 with Alex Hawk. The 4 is scratched. The 5, Power Hill with Austin Hanners. The 6, Glamorous Pete, Drew Neal. And the 7, Sod Buster, Brady Clemens in the sulky. Alex Hawk on the 3, scratch the 4. Number 6, Glamorous Pete, first time Lasix. First Lasix for the 6, Glamorous Pete.
Horse will take 1 to score and go to the gate.
All right, we are back to give you a look at this field. We're going to start with the pole position, and that is All That Class. Driver change to Jeremy Moore. Jeremy Moore has sat behind this horse before. That was 6 back. However, it is a difficult proposition with All That Class. 11 starts, but out of the last 6 starts, he has only made 1 sole race where he stayed flat throughout the race. So most of his lines, he has picked up some checks. He's been in shorter fields, but he has not performed as one would hope as a 2-year-old trotter. He's still making a lot of mistakes. 2 back, he stayed flat, finished 4th. That was at Caldwell, and he might have had an excuse. The last time that he did race, he did have an equipment break, so we'll give that to him. But Jeremy Moore gets the assignment today for trainer James Bolin Jr., and Jeremy Moore is the owner of this horse.
The number 2 is Here's Arthur. Charles Bolin drives for James Bolin Jr. Charles Bolin is the owner. It's a Team 6 colt. Out of the mare Here's Ethel, 13 starts this year, 6 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, has hit the board in 4 straight, including a win last time out here at Mconnellsville for the Washington County Fair races, and currently sits 3rd in the Fair Championships points.
David H. Miller conditions the 3, 80+80. Alex Hawk gets the call today. 6 starts on the year, very consistent, has not missed the board with 1 win, 4 seconds, 1 third, and $11,416 in earnings. 203 and 4 at Woodsfield. Last time out, finished 2nd. In fact, has had a pair of seconds coming into this one. 3 back was a strong winner by 3 lengths in 203 and 4.
Scratch the number 4, Hill of Bills. The number 5 is Power Hill. Austin Hanner drives from Mike Sowers, who also owns this What the Hill out of the Yankee Glide Mare Mystical Power. 9 starts, 4 wins in the 3rd place, earnings over $27,000. Last time out was in the Ohio Sire Stakes, finished 4th. Came home in 158 and 3. Has made a couple of fair starts prior to that, was a winner at Caldwell and Woodsfield after coming in from the Ohio Sire Stakes ranks.
I don't know if it makes Roger Houston nervous when he calls his own horse, but he is co-owner, along with trainer Rosie Weaver, of Glamorous Pete. Drew Neal is going to drive, and this horse has added Lasix for the initial time, the therapeutic medicine that is allowed for our racehorses. Has had a pretty good season. The last pair of starts, he finished 3rd, but 3 back. He was a winner by 3 lengths in 2:09 and 2, and that was at Rock Springs. Unusual racetrack, I'm told, although I haven't had the pleasure of being there.
Oh, we got to get you to the Rock.
Okay, it's an event, I can understand. 10 starts, 1 win, 1 second, and 6 thirds, $12,111 earned, and that record for the season, 2:09 and 3 at Rock Springs.
And the number 7 as the horses are starting to head behind the gate. Sodbuster, Brady Clemens drives for J.H. Miller, who also owns and bred Sodbuster, who is a colt by Volstead out of the Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe mare Sarais Hall. 7 starts, a win, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds.
They do score 5 across here, so we do have trailers in this one, the 6 and the 7, as even though there's a scratch, they cannot move up to the front tier.
Let's send it up to Roger Houston for the call.
They're off and trotting, going for the lead. Into the turn, it's Sodbuster from the second tier is on top by 2.5 at the first 8. As they race around the turn, here's Arthur is there second, racing third. That's 80 plus 80. Down the backside, all that class is fourth. Racing fifth is Glamorous Pete. Back on the outside, sixth. Now fifth and moving up, Power Hill as they race over to the first quarter mark. On top of the field, Sodbuster with the lead, opening quarter in 30 seconds flat. As they race around the turn, 80 plus 80 is their second. Here's Arthur, comes to the outside third. Glamorous Pete's on the move on the outside, now fifth, now fourth. Racing fifth, all that class, and trailing the field, Power Hill coming to the halfway point. On top, Sodbuster, the outside. Here's Arthur second. 80 plus 80 is third. Glamorous Pete fourth. Power Hill fifth. Off stride, all that class. Around the turn, going to the 5/8 mark. Off the half and 101. On to the backside they go. Here's Arthur up on the outside to grab the lead. Racing second on the inside. It's Sodbuster racing third. 80 plus 80. Glamorous Pete is there fourth. Another break for Power Hill at the 3/4 mark. As they race into the turn, the trailer is all that class. 133 and 1. Midway around the final turn. On top of the field and into the stretch they come. Here's Arthur with the lead. Closing up on the outside. Now second. Coming on is 80 plus 80. Racing third. Sodbuster. Glamorous Pete fourth. Coming to the wire. It's all. Here's Arthur. 80 plus 80 second. Home third, Sodbuster. Glamorous Pete was fourth. Mile 2:05, 3/5.
Well, that was a race with some mistakes made in it, but it was still a good finish between the 3 horses. We did declare that the winner, as Roger said it, here's Arthur. That is trained by James Bolin Jr. and handled today by Charles Bolin. So that makes 4 wins out of the last 7 starts for this one and 7 out of 14 appearances. So winning half of his races.
That's what you want if you're an owner. You
Absolutely.
Get those checks, and every one of those is sweet victories when you can get them. But no, just adds to his point total in the Fair Championships. We'll see him up at Northfield Park, I'm sure, later in October when we head up there for the $50,000 championships up at MGM Northfield Park. That'll be raced on October 19th.
It's definitely crunch time for these youngsters. Some of them will probably get a rest here if they feel that they are not going to accomplish anything. Give them a little break and look forward to the next season. Others that think they have a shot at making it are probably going to drive on and hope to get a slot in that championship.
Southern Valley Colt Circuit, 2-year-old colt and gelding trot. Number 2, here's Arthur. owned by Charles Bolin, Jeffersonville, Ohio. James Bolin Jr., the winning trainer. Charles Bolin in the sulky. 2-year-old colt by Team 6 out of Here's Ethel. Home a winner in 2:05 3/5. And for Here's Arthur, 2 in a row in Ohio. Blanket in this race presented by Morris Hardware. For the second, have them ready for the second race, please.
I think I have the rundown. The one, All That Class, finished 6th. The 2, Here's Arthur, the winner. The 3, 80 plus 80. And now Roger will take over.
6. The 2, Here's Arthur, the winner. The 3, 80 plus 80, 2. 4 was scratched. The 5, Power Hill, 5. The 6, Glamorous Pete, 4. The 7, Sod Buster, 3. Top down, 6, 1, 2. Scratch 5, 4, 3 on the bottom. The quarter, 30. The half, 101. 3 quarters, 133, 1. The mile, 205, 3.
So it's official. The first one is in the books. We have 8 to go, and we'll be back with you right after this brief break.
Driver Austin Hammer. Don't be shut out.
When the Morgan County Agricultural Society was formed, farming was the only way of life for residents. Located in rural Appalachia, farmers focused on livestock, grain crop, and tobacco. Finally, in 1852, the first Morgan County Fair was held to promote the area's agriculture. Locals arrived by horse and buggy, paying only 10 cents to enjoy the entire day. As the years progressed, so did the fair. It attracted more people, new farming ideas, and expanded its program. In 1890, the United States Trian Association promoted harness racing for the first time in the county. The purse amounted to $300 and was a highlighted event. That trend continued for decades. The society would have to build new horse barns on its ground every year to keep up with demand. A new half-mile track was laid in the 1950s, and finally, lights made an appearance in 1965. Today, the Morgan County Fair is a member of the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. They host 2 days of live-action harness racing.
They're often racing in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. Catch the excitement of Ohio harness racing at one of the county fairs in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. For over 150 years, people have gathered at county fairs to cheer on their favorite racehorses. Keep the tradition alive. Visit one of the 10 fairs in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit this summer. Horses, racing, and winning. It's the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. 10 great fairs in southeastern Ohio.
Hello again from Mconnellsville. We're headed into the second race, and it's going to be a free-for-all. And I mean that exactly, because that's what they call this. It's a free-for-all. It's practically open to the world. We have a field of 6 initially, but that is being reduced to 5 as we have a scratch in this one, and that is the 3. Caruso Hanover is out and will not perform. So we actually have 2 free-for-alls today, and this is a first division going for a purse of $1,000. We have the one horse. His name is Boozer, trained by Betty Clegg, and of course husband Nick Clegg will be in the bike. This one has been a check getter, but he's been out east. He now returns from out east, where he last started at Yonkers Raceway, a parimutuel track out there that's quite popular. It's a half-mile track as well. He had post 3 and actually finished 4th, but was placed 3rd by 2.5 lengths because apparently there was some infraction that occurred in the race that moved him up. On the season, this one's had 22 starts, 2 wins, 4 seconds, 4 thirds, and $36,130 in earnings with a qualifying mark at Saratoga of 154 and 3. Now, lifetime, this one has seen the starter 51 times, 13 wins, 10 seconds, 6 thirds, and $120,525 with a life best of 152 and 1. It's a Huntsville, and it's a younger one in the field, 4-year-old out of Whiskey A Go Go by Well Said. That is number 1. Frank?
The number 2 is the grand lady of the race. This is the 14-year-old mare Garbo, trained by Brian Haynes. Charles Bolin will drive. Brian is also the owner. This is a Sportsmaster out of the Jate Lobel mare Possessive Jate. 14 starts this year, a win, 3 seconds, 2/3, earnings of $5,600. Lifetime, 267 starts, 31 wins, 34 second-place finishes, and 29 times this horse has finished third. Earnings of over $247,000. Now the highest earner in this race because Caruso Hanover, who had $461,000, has been scratched, the number 3. So the number 4, Trish?
Is Arbin with Alex Hawk in the bike for trainer Earl Owings. It's a McCardle out of Binions by Bettor's Delight. It's the season's best earner in this field. 25 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds, 3/3, and $80,767 bankrolled. Best mark was at Scioto Downs, taken this year, 150 and a 5th. In fact, this one has been racing between the fairs and the pari-mutuels. Last started on August 31st at Scioto Downs, and a non-winners of $10,500 in the last 4. Finished third, beating a length and 3/4. Snappy last quarter, 27-3, and a mile in 150-1. Was in the open at Greenville. Had a tough mile, was parked to the half in wicked fractions, and ended up tiring. No reason that he wouldn't, though. That he does have an excuse there. Back on August 17th, back at Scioto, he was in another conditioned race, and he actually drew off as a winner, and that's where he got his season's best, winning by 5 3/4 lengths in 150 and a 5th.
The number 5 is Cold Deck. Derek Flowers was scheduled to drive. Austin Hanners will have the lines instead. Steve Ashby is the trainer. Zachary Jackson owns. This is a 6-year-old gelding by Racing Hill out of Lioness Hanover by Western Ideal. 19 starts this year, a win, 4 seconds, and 2/3. Only raced one time last year in 2023. Last time out was at Richwood in the free-for-all. Finished second in 158-3.
Trainer, owner, driver Mark Eicher will handle Busy Being Bad, and unfortunately I would say perhaps this one is living up to its name, the name that was given it, because it's been bad 3 of the last 6 starts for sure, or 3 of last 5, because I see one is a transportation where he was scratched, but not doing so well, and last 2 times has had that trailing position. In fact, has had the trailing position 4 out of the last 5 starts. Perhaps doesn't like that, but is going to be saddled with it again. That's Busy Being Bad. 8 starts, no wins, no seconds, no thirds, and $985 earned. Lifetime best was as a 6-year-old, and that was taken at Northfield Park last season, 156-3.
And Trish, just for those who are on the grounds who might be tuning in, the number 4, Arbin, has been barred from the wagering today. So no money can be taken on Arbin. So for the wagering purposes, whoever finishes second will be the winner for the bettors here. And we've got a good crowd here. They really love their racing here at Mconnellsville. In fact, last week when the weather forced the cancellation of racing due to the track conditions down at Marietta in Washington County on Labor Day, they put together the caravan. They caravanned up here and raced a double race card.
You talked about the 2-horse. That was your assignment there. And you talked about Garbo being 14 years old. So how old is too old? Well, she has to retire this year after this season unless she goes to the amateur races.
Couple stipulations.
If she goes to the amateur races, she can race through 15. I don't know what's ahead for Garbo, but she is obviously a hardy one.
And then you take a look, 267 starts she's had in her career.
And still going strong. That's the amazing thing. I would think, age catches up with most of us, but she's still earning.
It caught me and passed me by already.
The amateur racing is really huge. In fact, internationally, they just had the International Amateur Drivers Championship in late August, and I know we sent a driver. I'm trying to think who won. I'm thinking that perhaps it was a Norwegian driver that won. I didn't know. But that was something you could watch, even keep track of through Facebook. They called it, I think, the Federation I don't know, FIGAT or something. But here in the United States, we have quite a strong program for amateur drivers. They race at the pari-mutuel tracks quite often, Northfield here in Ohio for one.
So we are set. Let's go to Roger for the post parade.
Trophy by Morgan County Fair. Purse of $1,000. Number 1, Boozer, the driver, Nick Clegg. Number 2, Garbo with Charles Bolin. Number 3 is scratched. Number 4, Arbin, Earl Owings, the trainer. Alex Hawk, the driver, has been barred from the wagering. Number 5, Cold Deck, make the driver Drew Neal. Change in driver on the change of drivers. Drew Neal driving the 5, Cold Deck. And number 6, Busy Being Bad, Mark Eicher in the sulky. Horse will take one score and go to the gate.
So a driver change on the driver change on the 5. Drew Neal will drive the 5 instead of Austin Hanners.
Drew Neal, one of the young drivers on the fair circuit. We also see him in action over at Northfield Park quite a bit. He is getting quite a few catch drives, and he's been fairly hot here of late. Isn't he third in our standings for dash driving?
I believe he is, but I'm not 100% sure. I leave that up to Roger, and Roger usually does it after the fair, and I forgot to update my book.
The last time I had it was Mark St. Louis Jr. on top, and Jeff Nysonger, last year's leading dash driver at the fairs, was second, and Drew Neal was third. So it may still be the same way, or we might have had a little movement. I don't know, Frank, but Nick Clegg and his wife Betty, they have had a pretty strong stable the last few years, but I don't know how many people know that before he, I should say, turned in his anvil. He was a blacksmith for 5.5 years before he was switching over to his position of running a stable with his wife and driving.
I can't believe you're 90. You still look like you're 55.
Roger giving a shout out for somebody that's joining us on their birthday.
I believe it's Brady Clemens' grandmother who's celebrating her 90th birthday.
Wow, so wonderful. Kudos. I'm all for that.
And if I can get my job done, I've got her birthday present that I've got to try to get to Brady's mom. A picture of Brady that I thought we sent yesterday, but it didn't get there. So we're trying again.
Well, it's post time. Do we know who's in the starting car today?
It is the Mike Wepkenberg starting gate, and Mike is here. He is our starter. His wife is driving. So as we get set for race number 2, let's send it to Roger.
As Mike gives it the gas.
Free-for-all pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're Urban going for the lead. Boozer on the inside second. Getting away third as they race into the turn. Going to the backside. That is quarter mark racing fourth. It's Cold Decked and trailing the field. Busy Being Bad. All in straight alignment down the backside. Going to the first quarter. Nick Clegg wins the early battle and's on top with Boozer. Alex Hawk took a seat with Arbin second. Opening quarter in 29 flat. On the move on the outside. Here comes Cold Deck. Now fourth, now third, and moving up. Garbo is there fourth and trailing the field. Busy Being Bad. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. On top, Boozer and Nick Clegg. Up on the outside, Cold Deck and Drew Neal challenging second. Racing third, Arbin. Into the turn fourth is Garbo and trailing the field. Busy Being Bad as they race around the turn, going to the 5/8. Halfway home, 59 and make that 58 and 2. As they race to the backside and the 3/4 on the inside. Boozer up on the outside. Cold Deck battling for the lead. They'll be joined by Arbin shortly. at the 3/4 station. Boozer opens back up by a neck on the outside. Cold Decked racing second, now sticks the nose in front. 3/4 and 1:26. Into the stretch they come. Cold Decked on the outside, Boozer on the inside. Arbin comes to the outside, 3 wide through the stretch. Cold Decked, Arbin closing on the outside second. Cold Decked, Arbin on the outside, looked him in the eye and Arbin, Boozer. The mile.
We wait.
I know, da-da-da-da. We think it may be a track record here.
157-1 was the old mark.
Right. They set good last half, I'm sure, but even so, it was a good mile. I think Roger was all set to say that the Arbin was the sure winner there, the one that was barred from the wagering. However, I think we had an upset. Arbin was actually getting the perfect 2-hole trip.
Well, waiting to find out what the time was. Roger's kind of got his hands up like, I don't know yet. So we'll see what we get here.
Correction time on the 3/4. A corrected time on the
there
3/4.
we go. That's what makes
1:28. The mile 1:59.
Okay, that there you go. When
the clockers gave us a
okay.
wrong 3/4 call.
Okay, now that we got that, it's a little better there, but
there was quite a battle on the front end for a while, and Cold Deck was having the worst of it.
Arbin's still hanging around the front stretch,
I know,
thinking maybe that it was closer
I don't know,
than it
the
was.
angle.
I thought Arbin came up short second. I thought he was short
too.
by half a head.
Mutual order of finish. The mutual order of finish is 5-1-2. 5-1-2 for the mutuals. Actuality, it was 5-4.
Okay, there it is.
The 4 was
Barred from the wagering.
Cold Deck,
A winner by a head.
He knocked out Arbin, the one that was barred from the wagering. It was a big upset, actually.
There goes Arbin in the background, and here comes the winner.
The first division of the free-for-all pace. Number 5, Cold Decked. Owned by Zach Jackson of Mentor on the Lake, Ohio. Steve Ashby, the winning trainer. Drew Neal in the sulky. For Drew Neal, that's win number 75 this season at the fairs. Good for third spot for the drivers at county fairs in the Buckeye State. Cold Deck is the 6-year-old gelding by Racing Hill to Lioness Hanover. Home a winner in 1:59 1/5.
Roger is going to give us the final times, quarters, and also give us that rundown here in just a moment. Meanwhile, Alex Hawk's been driving quite well this year. He has quite a batting average, as we call it, the universal driver rating. He's batting or driving at a 399 clip.
Results are official.
Number 1, Boozer, 3. The 2, Garbo, 4. The 3 was scratched. The 4, Arbin, 2. The 5, Cold Decked, the winner. The 6, Busy Being Bad, 5. Top down, 3, 4, scratch, 2, 1, 5 on the bottom. The quarter, 29. The half, 58 and 2. 3/4, 128. The mile, 1:59 1/5.
In the third race, number 4, So Artistic.
Okay, so a final quarter in 31 and 1 in that one. saw Cold Dick edging out the barred favorite, Arburn. We now are going to head to a short break and come back with the third race.
In the barn area, bring them on for the third.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Long Tom, Summa Cum Laude, Ready for Money, and Bit of a Legend. See our yearlings at the Blooded Horse Sale August 27th and the Ohio Select Sale September 13th.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
After taking a look at the veterans, we're looking at the freshmen again. We have 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers in this third race. No scratches in this one. However, we do have a few driver changes on the 3, 4, and 5 horse. The 3, Sam's Legend, will be Nick Clegg. The 4, So Artistic, Alex Hawk. And the 5, Endless Dance, Drew Neal. We're about to take a look at the field. I'll start with the rail horse, and that's King of the USA, trained by Betty Clegg. Nick Clegg in the bike. Has had 8 starts as a 2-year-old, of course. No wins yet, 1 second, no thirds, only $1,592 earned. Betty Jo Clegg owns this one that has not been making breaks as much, but did last time out on September 2nd. At Scioto Downs on the pari-mutuels, started in a 2-year-old colt non-winners of 1 pari-mutuel and looked like he came first up, or maybe he did have cover, but was third on the outside for quite a bit of the mile. Tired to finish 8th by 12, able to finish the mile in 1:57.1 with Dan Noble on the bike. Dan Noble also drove the horse 1 start back before that, and the horse was race timed in 1:56.1. So does have some speed. We'll see how he does here on the half-mile oval.
The number 2 is Beachmaster King. Charles Bolin drives for Mark Winters. This is a Bring on the Beach out of the Ponder Mare Keen Allure. Mitchell Bean, Jeremy McGraw, and Marna Shin are the owners of Beachmaster King. 11 starts this year, 2 wins, 4 seconds, and a third. Was a winner last at Piketon back on July 27th. Last time out at Kenton, finished 4th.
I actually think we have some misinformation here because Nick Clegg can't drive 2 horses, and I was giving Clegg for the driver of the 3 horse as well. Were you, Frank?
No, 3 horse, I have Dylan Fagan.
Yep, okay. Well, Dylan Fagan it is. Dylan Fagan for trainer Brett Schwartz. This is a bit of a legend out of Last Sam Standing by Nobleland Sam. Came out of the Buckeye Classic sale for $16,000 a year ago at this time. Added Lasix 2 back, and the first time out with Lasix was a winner by 4.5 lengths in 2:11.1 at Rock Springs. Last time out at Canfield had the 2-hole, tracked the leader, but finished 4th, beaten 18.25 lengths. Managing to pace a mile in 2:04. Dylan Fagan was in the bike for both of those last 2. 2 wins out of 8 starts, no seconds, no thirds, $6,567 earned, with the best mark coming at Hilliard in 2:05.
The number 4 is So Artistic. Alex Hawk will drive for trainer Samuel Clark, who owns and bred this art director Gelding, who is out of the Soho mare So Prosperous. 7 starts, a 3rd place finish. That came back 4 races ago at Rock Springs. Currently $3,183 on the card for So Artistic.
Drew Neal gets the call to handle Endless Dance for trainer Eric Nesselrode. This dancing Yankee out of Endless Desire by Real Desire is on a real strong roll. Looks like I see 6 in a row, but perhaps it's 7. This one has won 7 of 9 starts with 2 seconds, so has been first and second in every appearance. This one knows what it's like to win, that's for sure. And you've got that perhaps not only a great deal of confidence, but desire, heart, and talent all rolled in one, so should be an easy assignment for Drew Neal. The largest margin of victory came from this one back at Rock Springs as well on August 16th. Most recent one won by a length and a half at Woodsfield was timed in 2:01 and 2, and that is the best mark for this youngster on the season.
Brady Clemens is driving 5. I know what you did. You took the driver changes from race 8 and put them in race 3. So that's
turned my page wrong.
So
well, Brady Clemens.
Drew Neal is driving the 5 and the 8.
He probably would like to be. He'd like to be driving Endless Dance. Yep. But thanks for the save there, Frank.
No, I was looking. I was
all off. Yeah.
But when you said the Nick one, I was like, okay, Nick's driving the 3 and the 8. That was the add-on.
Right.
I went there and took a look at that.
I must
real
have them
quickly.
down twice. I don't know. Oh, that's right. Roger was giving me a preview. I must have had my page turned wrong.
Oh.
At any rate, Brady Clemens has a nice assignment this one, and he's driven this one in every one of his appearances. You know, the Cleggs have a more, I would say, a natural approach to some of their things that they do with their horses. I know Nick likes to start them a lot, so this is kind of unusual that this 2-year-old only has 8 season starts. He was probably a little behind. They started with, I believe, 22 2-year-olds, and early in the season he had already started like 19 of them right at the beginning.
Let's go to Roger for the post parade.
The Colt Circuit, 2-year-old Colton Gelding, pace first division. Trophy. Jerry and Janet White. Master King. Legend with Dylan Fagan. The 4, So Artistic, Alex Hawk. Number 5, Endless Dance, Brady Clemens in the sulky. Horse will take 1 score and go to the gate.
The driver of the 4, So Artistic, Alex Hawk.
I think the other thing, So Artistic, Alex Hawk. Well, that one was right. Alex Hawk is on So Artistic. Yeah, the Cleggs also, they, you know, traditionally after the horses race, they get bathed, and then some of them get walked, some of them get to relax a little more and get turned back into their stall loose so they can roll, etc. But one little note that I heard right from the horse's mouth is that they don't bathe their horses afterwards. It's just their feeling that they like to leave them natural, and the horses respond. They think that it's better for their coats and everything else. So,
well, when they're out running around in the field getting all sweaty and that, nobody bathes them right after that.
Right. So that's just a little tidbit there, highly unusual, I think. But they sure have had some good seasons of racing. Duncan, who is a force in Ohio, has gone on to still be racing as a 4-year-old. I think he's up in Canada some of the time.
East Coast today racing for $200,000 this evening. He's in a $200,000 race. I'm not sure which one. One of our viewers was wishing the Cleggs good luck today, and then mentioned that Duncan was racing today.
Wow. Yeah, he is definitely an amazing horse. He was good at 2, 3, and 4.
See if we can find out which one that was.
Getting a little more info for us. Do we have people joining us from all over again, Frank?
Today just looks like, the usual, the Pennsylvania, the Indianas, the Florida. I haven't seen anybody pop up internationally yet today. I mean, a couple days ago, we had them from Sweden to Australia and all points in between.
Isn't that interesting?
It's amazing.
You know, my husband's from New Zealand, and he often talks about the excitement of the races both in New Zealand and Australia. He says it's just part of the fabric, like maybe baseball was to America, even though this is an American sport. Everybody goes to the horse races, and they dress up for the horse races. It's more of a
event.
An event, yeah.
Yep. So we are set for the third. Let's send it to Roger for the call of our third 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers, purse of $5,855.
The youngster behind the railing. Thank you. Here they come. Racing right down as they race into the turn on top of the field and showing the way into that first turn is getting away third. Failing to get to the gate was the 2, Beachmaster Keen. As they race down the backside, going to the first quarter mark, it's Sam's Legend on top of the USA as they race into the turn. That's So Artistic, made the early break. Goes off stride. Endless Dance now third. Opening quarter was in 30 1/5. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. On top of the field, it's Sam's Legend with the lead. Racing second, So Artistic. Endless Dance third. Racing fourth, King of the USA. As they race into the turn, Beachmaster Keen. Out and moving on the outside. Endless Dance and Brady Clemens. Legend. And 101 4 on to the backside. It's Endless Dance to take the lead and open up with each and every stride. Now by Sam's Legend as they race over to the 3-quarter mark. King of the USA racing third, racing fourth. So Artistic, 3 quarters in 1:32. Midway around the final turn. The lead is now 7 lengths. Drawn away with every. It's been a prize fight. They would have stopped it at the half. It's Endless Dance drawn away with every single strike. 8-10 this year. Endless Dance. Sam's Legend second. King of the USA was third.
You know, they say that the past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. So I imagine that Endless Dance, since he wasn't barred from the wagering, had a lot of backers as he picks up his 8th win out of 10 starts. Has never been worse than second in his young career. That's pretty admirable.
And the crowd here really likes Brady Clemens. You could hear the roar of the crowd. Brady gave him a wave as he went by. I had a chance to talk to Brady this morning, and I asked him, I said, what's it like driving in front of the hometown fans? And he just got a big Christmas smile on his face. Really enjoys driving here and picks up the win today with Endless Dance for trainer Eric Nesselrode.
We still hear cheers going on here in the grandstand as a lot of people are heading to the winner's circle, which is actually right out there on the track, right in front of us on the finish line.
Horse owned by Eric Nesselrode, Bo Powell from Mconnellsville, and Dennis Ruff from right here in Malta as well. So very happy for the hometown folks. To win at your hometown fair makes it even more special.
He edges close to the $35,000 mark in earnings.
Third win of the meet for Eric and for Brady as well.
Well, I would say that, not Not that anything is ever a sure thing, but this is one of the surest things I've seen this season at the fairs, on the ones that I have been watching.
So here comes your winner back to the winner's circle, Brady Clemens.
I like the name. They used both the sire, Dancin' Yankee, and the dam, Endless Desire, to come up with Endless Dance.
At this time, back
And for the stands, your unofficial winner of the third race, Southern Valley Colt Circuit 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pace. Number 5, Endless Dance. Eric Nelsonroad of Stockport, Ohio. Bo Powell of Mconnellsville, Ohio. And Dennis Ruff of Malta, Ohio. Eric Nelsonroad's 25th. For Brady Clemens, win number 30. The 2-year-old Gelding but Dancing Yankee of Endless Desire has had 10 lifetime starts, wins, and 2 paces today of a second of his lifetime best. Field of 2. Today's mile 2:01 3/5. And for Endless Dance, boy, I haven't said this in a long time. 7 in a row in Ohio.
I think the longest winning streak this year in Ohio at the fairs is 9. So good luck on a couple more. Endless Dance.
Okay, well, we are awaiting the rundown from Roger, but as we do, this was definitely a crowd pleaser. There is no doubt about that. The sale price, let's see, was he out of a sale? Yes. Endless Dance, $15,000 from the Buckeye Classic.
3, the 2, Beachmaster Keen. 4, the 3, Sam's Legend. 2, the 4, So Artistic. 5, the 5, Endless Dance, the winner. Top down, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1 on the bottom. The quarter, 30 and 1. The half, 101. 3 quarters, 132. The mile, 2:01 3.
We are already a third of the way through our program, but before we take a look at the fourth race, we're going to take a moment to hear from our sponsors.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Mark your calendar for the new and exciting North American Standardbred Mix Sale. Tuesday, December 17th at the Mount Hope Event Center in Mount Hope, Ohio. Broodmares, broodmare prospects, racehorses, and stallion shares. Pedigrees announced by Ed Teefee and Gabe Pruitt. Online bidding, clean, heated facility. The North American Standardbred Mix Sale. A live auction to see quality horses with industry-leading pedigrees. Tuesday, December 17th in Mount Hope, Ohio. Entries are now open.
One out, 4 to go. 1 out, 4 to go.
as either a freshman or a sophomore. So no wins out of 14 lifetime starts for this one, but has been getting checks in the last few. Pair of fourths, and then second back at Woodsfield on August 21st. And the mile time for that was 2:08 and 3. However, making an appearance at the Meadows in a non-winners of 1 did go in 2:01 and 2 back on July 18th. Moving ahead to the 4-horse, it's Kemp's Joyce. Roy Burns trains, drives, and owns, along with Melissa Burns, this 3-year-old filly by Wit out of Mythical Kemp by Cadabra. This one shares the same predicament as a 3-horse, as in 25 lifetime starts has yet to see the winner's circle. At Richwood, finished 4th last time out, and before that at Caldwell had a 3rd, at Woodsfield had a 3rd. Fastest time I can see of covering a mile was back at Urbana, Salina, 2:04 and 3/5. That moves us to the outside horse. All noses on the gate in this race. Hopeful Dreams. David H. Miller owns and trains, and he has assigned the driving to Alex Hawk. Alex Hawk will drive Hopeful Dreams. This one has 13 starts with a pair of wins, 3 seconds, 2/3, 20,907 earned. Best mark was taken at Athens in 2:05 and 1. But fourback also was a winner at Rock Springs by 36 lengths, so dominated the field at Rock Springs. And that's the field. They're bringing them out for the post-parade. I think they'll be in numeric order here in no time at all.
I want to thank those of you who are checking in across all across the United States, and thanks for the heads up on Rogers Audio. We were going wireless across the track all the way out to that building there. It was working, but we've picked up a bunch of interference, so I think we've got that fixed right now for the next race. So always good when we get tips that something's not going exactly the way we want it to, so we know we can fix it.
One of the things that I noticed, of course, when the horses are heading for home, they have the wind at their back, but when they're making challenges and things and movement down the backside, they're heading into the wind, which we always say slows them down a bit. Into the wind is not easy. We have 2 flags here flying. We have one from the grandstand and one in the infield.
Grandstand 1. Let's see. There it is. Let's see. Yep, there it is, right hanging at the top. So
our beautiful stars and stripes. They must have a straggler here yet, because Roger usually gets them in order and starts that rundown.
He's gonna make Drew Neal turn, I imagine. Drew ready to go, but as he comes past the.
You'd like to take a look at the different colors that drivers have. They started to register drivers' colors back in 1950, and once a driver registers his colors, they are his for life, and that means his pattern, his colors. Now, people can use the same colors, but it can never be the same pattern. I see that as the same Michael Lowe that I used to interview time to time when I worked at the Meadows. He's an attorney.
Now a judge.
A judge? Is he judging? He has a judge now.
He's a judge, and
is
he's got.
Is that why I see those Lowe signs?
All the signs.
Very good. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I hope he.
I think he actually has some an opponent in this year's race. So a lot of signs were out. In fact, he was a winner yesterday, and as he came down the stretch, Roger gave it the big, here comes the judge.
Here comes the judge. Well, that's great. I haven't seen him in action for a long time, but I sure recognize those colors, which segues into what I was talking about. The announcer, race caller, uses the driver's colors sometimes to know the name of the horse. They check the program, and they memorize them that way, who's on what horse, and that helps, because you can't always see the saddle pad number, so it's easier to determine who's out there in what position by the driver's colors. and Michael Lowe, I definitely recognized. We have drivers in this one that range from, let's see, Roy Burns is 67, Michael Lowe's 64, and then we have Drew Neal, of course. He's on the younger side, 24 years old. The backdrop here is really pretty. There's so many trees. I have never been to this fair, so it's been exciting this summer for me to get to. I always followed mostly the OCRA circuit, so getting out of that circuit and seeing some of these other fairs are a lot of fun.
Give this fair this view that we have another 4 or 5 weeks, and imagine the colors that you're going to have just
exactly,
sitting here
Frank.
looking. I mean, if you were an artist, this would be a great place to come and paint.
Certainly, and for what I would call a smaller fair, what a crowd.
They love their racing down here in Morgan County.
Along the Muskingum River. I think I said that right.
Yesterday, as I drove down along on Riverside Drive, getting closer, the water was like glass, and all the boats that looked like they were getting ready for this weekend. A little chilly to be out on a boat, but not too bad in the sun. So we are set to go. Let's send it to Roger for the call of the 4th.
Okay, actually the race was for second because Brady Clemens makes it back-to-back driving wins for him, this one behind Miss Clementine, and back-to-back training victories for Eric Nesselrode. Pretty exciting stuff here for the hometown crowd now. I heard them cheering for him again.
It wasn't as big as the first one, so that first one that was huge.
They erupted.
Well,
yes.
it's old hat now,
Actually, though, Roger, it was between Itty Bitty Blue and Hopeful Dreams, I believe, but I thought it was closer than that.
And there is there's Brady's mom right there second. On the left coming up, and his grandmother in the red and white celebrating her 90th birthday. I believe her birthday's tomorrow, I think, is what I was told.
That's okay. I have someone that I know that celebrates every day of the birthday month. Can you imagine that?
And you know what? When you're going to turn 90, you can celebrate it as much as you want, whenever you want.
Well, my sister-in-law is not that old, but she says when it comes to her birthday month that it's my birthday month. So she likes to celebrate every day of the birthday month.
You've got a sister-in-law like that, too?
Yeah, I do.
Oh. A couple of golf carts full of people coming as well. Clemens Farm about 10 minutes away from here. Eric Nesselrode's farm's about 15, and they bring the horses up here when they want to train them in fast miles.
So I would imagine then they keep this fair track conditioned all through the winter. Some of them do have horses training the fairgrounds all year long. That's one thing our racetracks across the United States have gotten away from, and that's having a barn area where the horses are housed right at the track. Now, Northfield Park still does, and the trainers are situated right there. But, of course, it's been quite a few years since Scioto Downs had a traditional barn area where stables were kept.
Big crowd in the winner's circle waiting for Brady to make his way back around, and here he comes right now.
Back in front of the stands, go on.
Miss Clementine was bred as well as owned by Casey Clemens, so that's what we call a homebred. And with that, we'll be back after a short break as we hear from our sponsors.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
Volstead, Coach K Hanover, Slay, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms. At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
And we're back to look at the side wheelers. Pace.
Whatever.
So Monday, he was flying over it. That way good, trotting good, and hit that. Drew was passing me at the time. I was moving him out a little bit. I knew his horse was down there. And he was passing like that guy, no big deal. He's still fine. You got me, you got Chucky, you got Power Hill, you got all of us. I thought you were by yourself. I came over.
No.
I might be old, but I'm not that old. But I might not be.
Three-year-old filly Mason, 5 of you, bring them on. Race 5.
This year, but the best mark so far this season is 2:01.4 at Athens. So we're on to the 2-horse, and that's JP's Babe. David Young II will drive for trainer Kevin Mead. Kevin Mead's also the owner of this I'm Gorgeous filly out of Big Girl Jeans by Shadow Play. Yet to see the winner's circle and didn't start as a freshman, so very inexperienced. I think that's often a little bit of a hindrance, but does have 7 starts, no wins, 1 second and 1 third, was third last time out at Mconnellsville, and Brady Clemens was in the bike for that one, but David Young II gets the assignment today, so hometown crowd might be a bit disappointed.
Did you get them? Did they show up? I tried to send them like 3 times and they wouldn't go through because they were so large, so I had to try something different. So, but we got them to you. So, and Grandma's birthday's tomorrow.
My mom.
Your mom, his grandmother, right? Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Roger said.
Said today, yeah. That's why I was like, no, I think it's tomorrow. But so, where are we? Mconnellsville.
Yep.
At least we think we are, right?
Yeah.
2 out, 3 to go. 2 out, 3 to go.
Now you know about Delaware, right?
Yes.
Okay. I got to make sure I tell people again on the air. All right. There you go. Thank you.
Drive for trainer Robert.
I went down and bet on Itty Bitty Blue, $20. Just in case.
3
It
out.
was right when they were going to the gate.
3 out. Main is 3.5. Got Brady Clemens. 3.5 out.
Up its competitiveness this year for sure, has earned a mark at Scioto Downs at the Parimutuel Raceway of 1:56.2. So we'll round out the field with the 5 Prosperous Yankee, handled by Alex Hawk today for trainer Samuel Clark. Another Dancing Yankee out of Sophosauros by Soho. Yet to notch a lifetime victory with only 3 starts as a freshman, 9 starts this year as a sophomore with a single third. Last time out, finished 4th at Caldwell, picked up that 3rd place, and before that at Woodsfield a 5th. So getting some checks here is Prosperous Yankee.
So that is the field for the 5th. Don't forget, if you have our county fair harness racing passports, stop by our broadcast location if you're at any fairs, and we'll give you our sticker that you can put into the passport. End of the year, you'll send them back in or drop them off at one of the fairs. We got some great prizes, but we do have a special prize, a surprise for those of you who have been to 5 county fairs and have gotten at least 5 stickers. Stop by our tent at Delaware starting on a week from today, tomorrow, a week from tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Week from tomorrow, our 5 days at Delaware starts. We got a driver change. Let's get this first.
JP's Babe, Charles Bolin. Charles Bolin will drive the 2. JP's Babe in the 5th.
Now there's a quick driver change for the
2 horse.
number 2. So, but stop by if you've been to 5 fairs. Stop by our tent, and while supplies last, we're going to have a special surprise for people who come by and bring their passports. So, glad to have everybody attending these races, and just the number of people that we have here today. Just Great crowd.
At the Delaware County Fair, you get to have racing all through the week until the weekend. Of course, it culminates on Thursday with the Little Brown Jug, but it starts right off on Sunday, right? Sunday
will start. We're there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We will have our 5 days in Delaware. Our coverage will begin it every morning with Trackside Live. We'll do an interview on Sunday. We'll kick it off with Jay Wolf, the publicity director for the Little Brown Jug, and then we will have guests on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, we move it into the OHHA tent for our speaker series. We'll have one at 9, one at 10, and then on Thursday we'll do another one at 9 and another one at 10 in front of the studio audience. You can ask questions of our guests. One of them will be a Little Brown Jug preview with Roger Houston, Wendy Ross of the USTA, and Gabe Pruitt. And let's go to the post parade, and then we can tell you some more details. So there's your field for the 5th. And then we'll, after our Trackside Live, we'll do countdown to post time, 15 minutes before the first race. And then we will have coverage of all of our races for all 5 days. So if you can't make it out to Delaware, we hope you'll join us for the races.
There's certainly a lot of action all through the week as they cover Grand Circuit racing, and along with a lot of our Ohio breds and Ohio Breeders' Championships. I am still proud of my ATC Queenie that was the first to take the older Ohio Breeders' Championship victory in 153 and 2. She now shares that record that has not been eclipsed yet with Lane of Stone and Fancy Face. So we have Ohio Breeders' Championship for every level, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and aged. Aside from that, we have a lot of drivers coming in from places that you don't get to see these drivers ordinarily compete, especially drivers that you'll see racing down in the Kentucky on the Grand Circuit and out at the Big M, the Meadowlands Raceway out east in New Jersey. Drivers coming from all over, trainers as well, of course.
One of those, Yannick Gingras, who will be in Columbus tonight at Scioto Downs for the Jim Ewart and the Charlie Hill Memorials that they will race there tonight, but Yannick will be inducted into the Little Brown Jug Hall of Fame. So a great honor for him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to be able to, you could buy a brick at Delaware, and they have a wall that they, people that have been in horse racing or whatever might buy one as commemorative for their family members, etc. There's a lot to see at Delaware, and everyone should go to the Little Brown Jug at least once in their lifetime. I think my parents took me to the first one, I believe. I'm not sure if I have the year right. I'm thinking 78 Melvin's Woe, so back a ways.
I'd have to go back and check that one.
Yeah.
So, it's an amazing experience. I was talking to somebody last week who was at the fairgrounds and said it's starting to look like the fair. The tents are starting to go up. All the chairs are still, plastered into the into the fences, and just getting ready for a great week up there.
People actually padlock their chairs to the outside chain link fence to reserve their spot.
Looking forward to a great week. Hopefully we have great weather. I mean, if we had 5 days like this, I think everybody in the place would just be ecstatic.
The only thing I don't like about it when it's a warm day, but, not hot, the bees. There's a lot of bees at Delaware buzzing around.
But
especially when you go by those drink stands,
exactly.
The lemonade, all.
But it's just a great time to be up at the fairgrounds.
Of course, they have a beer tent on the backside, which people can pay a ticket, and they also serve food there as well. It's a little different look, and a lot of the crowd that likes to be boisterous likes to get into that beer tent on the backside.
And they've got the pavilion, the pavilion on the hill where they have food and drinks. You can buy tickets into there
And
as
that's
well.
for 2 days. That's on the day
Wednesday
of the
and Thursday,
Jugette
yep.
and the Jug. Little pricey, but well worth it. The food there very, very good.
So we get set to go. Let's send it to Roger for the 5th.
So there you have it. 3 in a row for driver Brady Clemens. There was some bouncing on the seat in front of me with excitement, actually.
So with the victory, that'll give Brady 5 on the weekend. And with 3 left, he's assured of at least a tie for the driving title.
For the week, yes.
This one for trainer Robert Resch.
Owned by Holly Resch of Wellington, Florida. So I hope she's tuned in to see the win.
So Brady Clemens does it again.
A lot of times when you look at the breeder, you sometimes, this one did not go to a sale, so it was a private sale somewhere along the line for Forever High. One of the things that the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association has for owners, and not for owners, but the breeders, we have Breeders' Awards, which are very popular, and not everyone has quite the program that Ohio has.
Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio. That's our slogan.
And it is a good one, and it is true in the heart of Ohio.
There are your mutuals for this last race. $720 the payment for Forever High.
760, I thought I see. 760. Anyway, the trifecta was short. 413,640. The exacta was good then. 413,80. Of course, if you're at home, you're not able to call your bets in or send them in online. But
unless you know somebody here at the track, let's go to Roger.
no surprise here, but Brady Clemens is in the 6th race, our next race as well, so he has a chance to make it 4 straight. But before we get to take a closer look at the field that he's in against, we have to make a tiny little break to listen to our sponsors.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Long Tom, Summa Cum Laude, Ready for Money, and Bit of a Legend. See our yearlings at the Blooded Horse Sale August 27th and the Ohio Select Sale September 13th.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
The 6th race is the 2nd division of 2-year-old colt and gelding pacers. We saw them in action earlier in the 1st division, which was the 3rd race. And that we'll see whether that was a field of 5. This one was a field of 4, but we have a scratch. The 4, Top Shelf Sherry, is out. So now we just have a trio of performers here. And a trio of performers can still be a very exciting race. They're all going to be close and be able to, if they stay close. There have been triple dead heats, in fact. Steve Carter trains the 1 horse. He's the conditioner of the all-age trot record that we have here. I think I mentioned earlier that was Rose Run Sydney set that back in 2017. The 1 is Gene Said Trainer Steve Carter, David Young II is down to drive for the owner Randy T. Young Stables. It's a well set out of Chasing Maddie by Always a Virgin. Has had 8 starts thus far this year and a trio of thirds coming into this race. Before that was second at Rock Springs and then had a pair of thirds as well. So definitely has picked up a lot of thirds out of 8 starts, 7 thirds, and 1 second. $10,464 earned.
The number 2 is Lose Boy. Brady Clemens drives for Eric Nesselrode. They will be looking for their 4th win together. 7 starts this year, 2 wins, 4 second-place finishes for the Fear the Dragon Colt out of the 11 a.m. mare Voluptuous. D. Texera of Vincent, Ohio, is the owner. This horse has hit the board in 6 of 7. The only time it did not hit the board was last time out here at Mconnellsville for the Washington County Fairs, and finished 4th in that race.
That brings us on with the outside horse. That's the 3, Something to Crow About. Ammon Hirschberger trains and drives this one for Barbara J. Eddy of Mount Vernon. It's a Bring on the Beach by out of Shaky Cam, Hanover, by Arts Place. This is the least experienced in the field with just 5 starts to its credit, but has done all right. Has a win, a second, and a third, and $4,982 earned. Record taken 2 back at Wilmington, winning by 2 lengths in 2:06 and 4. The fastest time that it has covered the oval, the half-mile oval, was at Zanesville, and that was 3 back, finishing in 2:05 and finishing second, beaten 7 lengths.
So there's a look at the field of 3.
Yes, as we wait for them to get in order for the short post parade, Frank, I'll just do a little thing. Do you know how a horseshoe got to be known as a good luck symbol?
No, I don't, but you always have to have it up. You can never have it down. I do know that.
Well, you know, Phil Pines was a great writer of harness racing everything from statistics and definitely a lot of human interest stories and even some lore. And his book, Tales of Woe, tells about how the horseshoe became lucky. It's a German tale. Supposedly there was a blacksmith and he was pounding away on his anvil and the devil heard all that noise and he had to go see what it was all about. So he went over to the smithy and saw what he was doing, putting shoes on the hooves of horses, and he had hooves, of course, that devil, so he thought he would ask for a pair of shoes. Well, the blacksmith was pretty crafty, and instead of cooling off after he took him out of his forge with the fire and the nice iron shoe, he put the shoes on the devil as hot as he could. The devil quickly paid him and went off, but he was cussing and jumping and carrying on. The shoes were killing him, so he tore them off and threw them away. And, of course, the blacksmith as well, knowing it would bring him ill luck, had thrown the money that he had given him in the fire. Oops, short post parade, and we missed part of it.
Number 3, Something to Crow About, Ammon Hirschberger, Kim Saki. Number 4 is Scratch.
From then on, every time the devil saw a horseshoe, he went away from it. So that's how it became known as a good luck symbol. Keep the devil away with a horseshoe.
You don't get this kind of stuff on other broadcasts, I can tell you that. It's always great to enlighten our people with that and learn new different things for the people that didn't know that story. So
yeah, well, Phil Pines, I know he was so prolific as a writer, and people can still get the book Tales of Woe. It's very interesting. He also called America's harness racing America's own sport. That was something he always referred to it as.
Special announcement earlier today from the horsemen racing here at the Morgan County Fair.
Roger with a special announcement.
Today, we want to offer their thanks and appreciation to the great racetrack here, to the Fair Board and all of its members for putting racing #1. The track is ideal. Everybody else doing a great job. So on behalf of the horsemen, I want to thank the Fair Board for doing a mighty fine job.
There's some applause for everybody that helps contribute to this great fair. matter where you are, and definitely at the fair. A lot of hands on deck to make it happen and happen smoothly.
You know, we're being told we're still having some audio issues with Roger. We think we might have fixed them now. We apologize. We'll see when it starts here.
Well, as I was just saying, there's so much that goes into any program, and even on the broadcast end. It's great to have these live streams that you can catch on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association Facebook page, or, of course, harnessracingohio.com. What better spot can you go to watch the fairs across this great state? Because you can also download a free program about an hour before the first post and follow along. Then you don't have to listen just to us giving you the brief synopsis of every horse. You can follow along and see for yourself.
Let's go to Roger, hopefully, with some audio here. We'll see.
Pacers are all in behind the Whipperbird gate on the upper turn. Gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Loose Boy goes right out to the lead. Something to crow about. Gets away second. Trading the field, Gene said. Straight alignment as the race around the turn. Going to the first tee. To the backside they go. Brittany Clemens with Loose Boy leads the way. And then Hirschberger and Something to Crow About racing right there second. Slightly gapped, as Gene said, and David Young as the race over to the first quarter mark. On top of the field, it's Loose Boy by the quarter and heading to the 3/8. Something to Crow About second. Opening panel 31. Third. Straight alignment, no movement as yet. Go on to the 3/4 mark. Loose Boy the leader. Here comes Alan Hirschberger. Something to Crow About. Out and moving on the outside. Trailing the field, Gene said. Now Gene said gets into the battle as well. 3/4, 134 and 4 on the outside. Something to Crow About. Loose Boy, Gene said on the outside. Coming home, Gene said, closing on the outside, inside, Something to Crow About. It's all Something to Crow About. Gene said second, Loose Boy is third. The mile, 2:04, 1/5.
And it was Something to Crow About that was getting the win here after Brady Clemens and Loose Boy had been setting the early fractions to the half. Then by the 3/4, he had some competition, and as it turns out, he finished third in this event, breaking his win string that he had 3 strong here. Down the stretch between Loose Boy between Something to Crow About and Gene said, it was close at one point, but the call went to Something to Crow About. Amon Hirschberger train and drives this one for, again, Barbara J. Eddy of Mount Vernon. Picking up second win of 6 starts. That's the least experienced and now has 2 wins. Gene said was the, I can't say bridesmaid, but groomsman in this one, picking up his second out of 9 starts now. Getting closer to hitting that winner's circle. Something to crow about.
Still trying to fix Roger's audio.
Into the winner's circle, the winner
Of the sixth race, Southern Valley Colt Circuit, 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pace. Trophy by Judge Michael Lowe of Morgan County Court. To number 3, Something to Crow About. Barbara Eddy of Mount Vernon, Ohio is the owner. Ammon Hirschberger trains and drives. 2-year-old Gelding, but Bring on the Beach out of Shaky Cam, Hanover, taking a lifetime mark, 2:04 1/5. Judge Michael Lowe blanket goes to Ammon Hirschberger and Something to Crow About. Results are official. Number 1, Gene Said, 2. The 2, Lose Boy, 3. The 3, Something to Crow About, the winner. 4 was scratched. Top down, 2, 3, 1. Bottom horse was scratched. The quarter, 31. The half, 104 1. 3/4, 134 4. The mile, 2:04 1/5.
That was a nice final quarter in that one, 29 and 2/5 seconds. Something to crow about, definitely has something to crow about. We're going to take a break. We have 2/3 down and 3 more races to go after these messages.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC oil. It makes a world of difference.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
The 7th race is our second division of 3-year-old filly trotters vying for a purse of duo of Brady Clemens in the bike and trainer Eric Nesselrode once again. Love Me Long Time, owned by Joe D. Nesselrode. It's a Long Tom out of Sit-in Chili by Cayenne Turbo. 13 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds, no thirds, and $13,446 earned. Love Me Long Time did not race as a 2-year-old, so has made up for it this year, getting 13 appearances thus far this season. I have to say, this filly, this Long Tom filly, has talent and ability because her problem is making breaks. When she doesn't make a break, she is a resounding winner, which happened back at Woodsfield on August 21st, where she romped to a 16 1/4 length victory in 2:02 4. That is her season's best. She also had a win at Piketon, where she made a small break right after the start and won by a neck in 2:03 4. So keeping her flat is the key to a good start here for Love Me Long Time.
The number 2 is She's AB. Roy Burns drives, trains, and owns this filly by What the Hill out of the Victory Sam Mare Honey Bee. 11 starts this year, 4 third-place finishes, earnings of $5,730. Lifetime 1 win in 24 starts. That win came at Cortland last year. Last time out, finished 5th at Richwood, was scratched 2 back. One of those third-place finishes was 3 back at Woodsfield.
And the 3 horses, Dublin's Amarina, this one conditioned by Earl Owings, owned by Richard Owings, and driven today by Alex Hawk. Alex Hawk has been in the bike with this one more often than not. I can see 4 appearances prior to today. Last time out made a break and was a distance 6 at this track, Mconnellsville, on September 2nd. On August 27th, however, at Caldwell, cut the mile out and finished second, beaten 4 lengths, and trotting in 2:05 and 1. This is another one that just needs to keep it together to be competitive.
The number 4 is Expressive Betty. David Young II drives for trainer J.H. Miller. Powerline Racing of Salesville is the owner of this Expressive Action filly. Out of the S.J. Photos mare, Betty Jean did not race as a 2-year-old. In its 3 starts this year, does have 2 third-place finishes, earnings of $3,350. Taking a quick look back at Dublin's Amarina, it'll be 1 year tomorrow since that filly was in the winner's circle. It was a winner here back on September 8th of 2023.
Interestingly enough, started there September 2nd over this same track here and made a miscue. So maybe got that out of the way and it'll be a force to be reckoned with today here. That's interesting. Looking for that winner's circle for the first time this season is Dublin's Amarina. Most of these horses in this field today are wearing the trotting hobbles. It's only She's a B that is going on naturel.
So as they are getting ready for the post parade.
The Colt Circuit 3-year-old filly trotters, $5,818, trophy Morgan County Fair. Number 1, Love Me, Long Time, Brady Clemens. The 2, She's a B with Roy Burns. The 3, Dublin's Amarina, Alex Hawk. And number 4, Expressive Betty, David Young II in the sulky.
The posture of David Hawk in the post parade, it looks like Dublin's Amarina is a bit hot. He had quite a snug hold and was leaning back in the bike, and not during the race, but in the post parade, that's kind of an indication that the filly had was pulling a bit. They're going to take just one short score and get behind the starting gate. Once again, we have a short field, and that's really good. That's one thing about the fairs. You can pick up some money. A lot of the fields are shorter, and yet you're gaining a lot of experience with these youngsters without having to have terribly full fields. And actually, what a nice purse on this Southern Valley Colt Circuit here when you think that these divisions divided, this 4 horse is going for $5,818. In the case, I'm not sure if it's this way on the Southern Valley Colt Circuit, but we have 5 places for the money, of course, with the winner's share going to the winner, 50%, 25% for second, 12% for third, 8% for fourth, and 5% for fifth. But when there is no 5,
different
it's
here
different
on the whoop. You okay there?
Just, I don't know.
A little different here at the Southern Valley. It's 45. So Trish is better now. There we go. There we go. Here at the Southern Valley with 5 or more starters, 45% to the winner, 25, 15, 10, and 5. And in this race with only 4, the winner does get 50%, 25, 15, and 10.
Oh, very good. So that is true. Not all of the circuits are the same. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I get a little assist from a harness racing fan, but you can always count on them to help one another, right? Very nice. I have been given a lifesaver in my favorite flavor, wintergreen.
So Mike Webkenberg's starting gate has begun to roll in the upper turn. as we get set for our 7th race here today. We have 9 on the card.
Yes, we're getting close to, well, it is the last third of our card.
Let's send it up to Roger.
Trotters are all in behind the Mike Wilkenberg gate on the upper turn. Gate swings into the stretch and here they come. They're off and trotting. That's She's a Bee goes for the lead. On the outside, Expressive Betty now second and going right on. Taking a seat third is Dublin's Anne Marina, and treading the field, Love Me, Long Time. Down the backside they go. Expressive Betty and David Young up on the outside to take the lead. Here comes Alex Hawk on the move with Dublin's Amarina from third. Now second and challenging into the turn. She's a Bee racing third and trailing the field. Love Me, Long Time. Brady Clemens from way back begins the chase now fourth at the first quarter mark. Around the turn, on top of the field, that's Expressive Betty. Opening quarter in 31 seconds. Racing second, that's Dublin's Anne Marina. Racing third, She's a Bee. Making a break and trailing the field, Love Me, Long Time. They're halfway home with Expressive Betty and David Young showing the way. Alex Hoff, Dublin's Anne Marina is there second. She's a Bee and Roy Burns third. Trailing the field, Love Me, Long Time. They're by the half and go under the 5/8 mark. On top of the field as they race down the backside. Going to the three-quarter station, opening up with each and every stride now on the front end. It's David Young and Expressive Betty now by 8 lengths. Racing second, Dublin's Anne Marina. Racing third, She's a Bee at the three-quarter mark. As they race around the turn, treading the field, Love Me, Long Time. 3 quarters in 1:34 and 2. Midway around the final turn. No doubt about this one. David Young and Expressive Betty coming home. 3-year-old filly drawing away with each and every stride. The battle's going to be for second and third. To the wire, it's Expressive Betty. Racing second is Dublin's Anne Marina. She's a Bee third. Love Me, Long Time was fourth. The mile in 2:07 1/5.
And that was a jiggy jog victory in only her 4th lifetime start. The 3-year-old Expressive Betty by Expressive Action out of Betty Jean by SJ's Photo takes victory lap here, 2:07 and 1. Now a winner for the first time, breaking that maiden, the proverbial maiden, as we say. David Young the second in the bike behind Expressive Betty. She won by, I don't know what my guesstimate would be, but very, very handily.
A lot. Third win of the 2-day meet for David Young.
Everybody needs a good statistician. We have Frank here today keeping the track of these driving wins and training wins.
And with that, Eric Nesselrode has guaranteed at least a tie for him, and Brady now still possibility of a tie with David Young. I've got to see if David Young's got any drives in the last 2.
Instead of individual names, sometimes owners have a stable name, which is the case here. Powerline Racing Stable of Salesville, Ohio. Congratulations to them on the victory for this lass.
And your winner of the 7th Southern Valley Colt Circuit 3-year-old filly trot. Number 4, Expressive Betty, over Powerline Racing Stable of Salesville, Ohio. J.H. Miller, the winning trainer. David Young, the second, the winning driver, his 3rd win this week here at the Morgan County Fair. Win number 28 this season at the county fairs. The 3-year-old filly by Expressive Action of the Betty Jean, home a winner in 2:07 1/5. And that's a lifetime best, Expressive Betty. Results are official. Number 1, Love Me Long Time, 4. The 2, She's a Bee, 3. The 2, Dublin's Anna Marina, 2. The 4, Expressive Betty, the winner. Top down, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the bottom. The quarter, 31. The half, 102.3. 3/4, 134.2. The mile, 2:07 1/5.
And after striking a pretty pose in the winner's circle, Expressive Betty heads back to the barn area, and we're going to head into the 8th race after these messages.
When the Morgan County Agricultural Society was formed, farming was the only way of life for residents. Located in rural Appalachia, farmers focused on livestock, grain crop, and tobacco. Finally, in 1852, the first Morgan County Fair was held to promote the area's agriculture. Locals arrived by horse and buggy, paying only 10 cents to enjoy the entire day. As the years progressed, so did the fair. It attracted more people, new farming ideas, and expanded its program. In 1890, the United States Trian Association promoted harness racing for the first time in the county. The purse amounted to $300 and was the highlighted event. That trend continued for decades. The society would have to build new horse barns on its ground every year to keep up with demand. A new half-mile track was laid in the 1950s, and finally, lights made an appearance in 1965. Today, the Morgan County Fair is a member of the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. They host 2 days of live-action harness racing.
They're often racing in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. Catch the excitement of Ohio harness racing at one of the county fairs in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. For over 150 years, people have gathered at county fairs to cheer on their favorite racehorses. Keep the tradition alive. Visit one of the 10 fairs in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit this summer. Horses, racing, and winning. It's the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. 10 great fairs in southeastern Ohio.
The Delaware County Fair, where history meets horsepower. Get ready for the thrill of a lifetime as the world-famous Little Brown Jug takes center stage. Witness the heart-pounding action, the thundering hooves, and the sheer determination of these incredible athletes compete for the coveted Little Brown Jug title. Don't miss your chance to be a part of history. For ticket and hospitality options, visit littlebrownjug.com. The Little Brown Jug, where champions are made and legends are born. Be there!
Our 8th race features 3-year-old filly pacers. It's our second division of this group. It's a 5-horse field with a couple of driver changes. The 3 Windy Cindy is going to be handled by Charles Bolin, and the 5 VH Fancy by Brady Clemens. At the rail, we have ATI Girls Love Cruisin'. Drew Neal will be in the bike for trainer Melvin Byler, who sends out this Well Said out of Cruisin' Corinne by Yankee Cruiser. Eric Butler and Stephen Butler own this one. 19 starts on the year with 4 wins, 4 seconds, 3 thirds, $19,755 earned. Best winning time was at Carrollton of 1:59 flat, but comes right off a wire-to-wire win here at Mconnellsville on September 2nd. So perhaps likes the track and perhaps likes to go to the front from the rail. Has that assignment today.
The number 2 is Fear My Grace. Austin Hanner is scheduled to drive, but we have not seen Austin, so probably going to have a driver change there. Brett Schwartz is the trainer. He owns, along with Racehorse Express and S. Harrington and B. Larrick. This is a Fear the Dragon out of the mare Juliana Grace by Art Major. 15 starts this year, a win, a second, and 5 thirds, earnings of $12,693. Lifetime 4 wins and 30 starts. Has hit the board in 4 of the last 5, all 4 of those finishes, third-place finishes, the last one at Canfield.
The 3-horse Windy Cindy is pretty consistent, winning about a third of her races this year. 5 of 16 thus far with a single second, and 4 third-place finishes, $21,664 in earning, and a best mark taken at the Parimutuel Track Northfield Park, 159-1. Has been on the board in all of the last 6 starts, including a pair of wins in a row that were set back on August 3rd at Athens and August 12th at Zanesville. Both times the horse was on the front end, and it seems like this one does land on top more often than not, being first at the quarter in 5 of the last 6 starts.
We'll pick up the post parade, but Austin Hanners is driving the 2.
In memory of Rick Shriver. These little horses, number 1, ATI Girls Love Cruisin', the driver, Drew Neal. The 2, Fear My Grace with Austin Hanners. The 3, Windy Cindy with Charles Bolin. The 4, Frontier Dragon, David Young the 2nd. And number 5, VH Fancy, Brady Clemens in the sulky.
Neglected to mention the trainer of the 3, Windy Cindy, is Melvin Byler. He's also the owner of this 3-year-old Do Me That Again.
The number 4 is Frontier Dragon. David Young will drive for Steve Carter. This is a Fear the Dragon out of Carol's Desire by Real Desire, owned by B. Hopper, K. Gray, J. Sheave, and M. Gray. Has hit the board in 10 out of the last 11 starts. For the year, 19 starts, 6 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. Earnings just over $29,000. In fact, by $1, $29,001 this year. Lifetime 14 wins and 36 starts, coming off a win at Mconnellsville last week. Got away 4th and ended up grabbing the lead and holding on to win by a length and a quarter in 2:01.1.
If you want to know something about VH Fancy, the man to ask would be Tim Van Horn, because he trains, owns, and bred VH Fancy. So he had his hand in everything, the breeding and right down to the owning and training. This is a bit of a legend filly, a bit of a legend in, out of Blue Rock Trixie by Jackie's Cam. Most recently, she raced at Mconnellsville on September 2nd and finished 2nd, beaten just 3/4 of a length behind the 1-horse ATI Girls Love Cruisin'. So they've met just recently in action against one another. On August 27th, she was at Caldwell and also picked up a 2nd-place finish. Was a winner 4 back at Rock Springs, and that was a victory by a length taken in wire-to-wire style in 2:02.2. Her best mark was taken at Northfield, 157-1 this season. 19 starts overall, 2 wins, 6 seconds, 3 thirds, and $18,945 earned. So that's the field of 5 in this 3-year-old filly pace.
And this is a big race for the Van Horn grandchildren. If VH Fancy can come home a winner today, they will be getting a new go-kart that Grandma and Grandpa promised them if they could pick up 10 wins. So I'm kind of pulling for VH Fancy. Let's send it to Roger.
Turn. Gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. That's ATI Girls Love Cruisin' right out for the early lead. Getting away 2nd is VH Fancy. Pacing 3rd into the turn, Fear My Grace. 4th is Windy Cindy, and treading the field, Frontier Dragon. All in straight alignment down the backside. Go on to the 1st quarter mark. ATI Girls Love Cruisin' leads the way by a length and a quarter. VH Fancy right there 2nd, racing 3rd as they race over to the 1st quarter mark. And into the turn, racing 4th is Windy Cindy, opening quarter 31-1. Trailing the field, Frontier Dragon. Straight alignment at the 3/8 mark. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Showing the way by about a length and a quarter. That's ATI Girls Love Cruisin'. Right there 2nd, VH Fancy. Pacing 3rd, Fear My Grace. Here comes Frontier Dragon and David Young on the move on the outside from 5th. On the inside, Charles Bolin and Windy Cindy. On to the backside, off the half in 1:02. On to the backside they go. ATI Girls Love Cruising and Drew Neal. Coming to the outside, VH Fancy and Brady Clemens making their move. Go on to the 3/4 mark. Racing third. As they race into the turn, Fear My Grace tips to the outside as well. Will go 3 wide by the 3/4 mark in 1:31 3. Midway around the final turn, ATI Girls Love cruising with the lead. Closing on the outside, Fear My Grace. In between horses, VH Fancy through the stretch. ATI Girls Love Fancy. Racing on the outside, Fear My Grace. Fear My Grace. ATI Girls Love cruising. Frontier Dragon was third.
Now the Van Horn grandkids are going to have to wait a little longer for the go-kart.
Yes. I'm sure they're disappointed.
2 minutes, 3/5.
Oh, that's a speedy one here. 2 minutes and 3/5 for these girls. And Fear My Grace picking up her second win out of 16 starts now. Fear My Grace besting her season's best by quite a bit. It was 2:03 at Circleville now, 2 minutes and 3/5 for this Fear the Dragon filly. Trainer Brett Schwartz owns a piece of her along with Racehorse Express and Steve Harrington and B. Lyric. Austin Hanners made it in time to go straight to the winner's circle, Frank.
He did get here, yes. You know, he was scheduled to drive a bunch, but I couldn't remember if he got here in time earlier today or not. I've been so busy with other things. He may have been here the whole day, and I didn't even know it. So here he comes to the winner's circle. I think he was here the entire day. I didn't even realize it.
Oh, those little things, we always straighten them out sooner or later. Get it right. I know if you're hunch players or, you have some reason to back something like you were pulling for VH Fancy because of the individual story there, I was thinking as I was sitting here, Windy Cindy would have been my play if it was a hunch because it's so windy.
Exactly. Today. There you go. Today, the last day of the fair, and we've got a lot of cars coming across the track mid-stretch. And I was talking to Jeremy Moore when he stopped up here. Let's go back up to Roger.
Circled the 2, Fear My Grace. On to Brett Schwartz, Racehorse Express, and S. Harrington, B. Larick of Ohio. Brett Schwartz gets his 11th this season at the county fairs. Austin Hanners, win number 31 this year at the fairs in the Buckeye State. 3-year-old filly by Fear the Dragon and Juliana Grace, home winner in 2 minutes, 3/5. Final half, 58-3. The final quarter, 29 seconds. Fear My Grace, Brett Schwartz, Austin Hanners get the blanket in memory of Rick Shriver.
That's another winner from Denver Acres, the home of Fear the Dragon.
Okay, well, guess what's next? It's our Getaway feature.
And 2, the 2, Fear My Grace, the winner. The 3, Windy Cindy. 5, the 4, Frontier Dragon. 3, the 5, VH Fancy. 4, top down. 2, 1, 5, 3, 4 on the bottom. The quarter, 31-1. The half, 102. 3/4, 131-3. The mile, 2 minutes, 3/5.
And as a hunch player, if I had wagered on Windy Cindy, I'd have been disappointed too, right along with those kids. But you can't accumulate, Frank, if you don't speculate.
That's right. There you go.
So the 9th race is our getaway feature, as they often say, and it, once again, is a free-for-all. And we have horses 5 strong going to face the starting gate in just a moment. But first, you have to listen to these messages.
Mark your calendar for the new and exciting North American Standard Bred Mix Sale. Tuesday, December 17th at the Mount Hope Event Center in Mount Hope, Ohio. Broodmares, broodmare prospects, racehorses, and stallion shares. Pedigrees announced by Ed Teefee and Gabe Pruitt. Online bidding, clean, heated facility. The North American Standard Bred Mix Sale. A live auction to see quality horses with industry-leading pedigrees. Tuesday, December 17th in Mount Hope, Ohio. Entries are now open.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding farm. Cool Winds stands the popular dancing Yankee, a two-time world champion, along with 2019 jug winner Southwind Ozzy, a son of Some Beach Somewhere. Cool Winds also stands the royally bred $2 million earning Western Fame. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 13th.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Well, it is your last chance to speculate and make a wager here if you're on the grounds at the Morgan County Fair. And that last race, wow, that was our biggest payoff today. $69.60 for the winner, Frank.
Two all for the trifecta, $11.80, 2 all for the exacta, but $69.60 for the winner. So congratulations to those that had that ticket on that winner.
Not too many did, I can assure you of that.
And then today, though, is our last day of racing here at the fair. In fact, the last day of the fair. And tonight, when it's all said and done, there they are. The Demolition Derby cars are all starting to make their way into the fairgrounds and park there. In fact, when I was talking to Jeremy Moore, as I was saying earlier, right there is the driveway through, and a lot of cars have been going back and forth over that, and that has created a bit of a hump there.
Oh, no.
And that's what Jeremy said, as they came into there, his horse kind of hit that. And
Not
went
exactly
off
what
stride.
you want, no.
And it's funny, if you watch the starting gate coming around, you can see when it hits there, you can see it kind of dips up and down. So keep an eye on that as more of the Demolition Derby cars make
As
their
you
way
don't need
across.
any more excuses. You don't need to add to the possibilities for them. Well, they're out now, and we're going to take a quick look at these. The one is Ms. Gracie, trainer Marlon Smith for owner Lori Farnes of Thornville, Ohio. Lori Farnes Smith is the driver of Ms. Gracie, who's had 12 appearances this year, yet to see the winner's circle, and $920 earned. Comes into this off a scratch line from Mconnellsville, but did race at Caldwell, finishing 4th. Best time that I can see on the lines is back at Northfield on August 3rd, 157-1 this season. But a lifetime mark is a 4-year-old of 155.
The number 2 is Sundance Lou. David Young II drives and trains and owns this Sunshine Beach 5-year-old gelding. Has 1 win in 27 starts this year. Lifetime 7 wins in 83. Let's go to Roger for the post parade.
For all pace, second division, trophy by Morgan County Fair. Number 1, Ms. Gracie with Lori Farnes Smith. Number 2, Sundance Lou, the driver David Young II. Number 3, Superstition with Nick Clegg. The 4, Call We Not with Alex Hawk. And the 5, Sports Team, Drew Neal in the sulky.
And it's not often that you see a 3-year-old in a free-for-all. And here we see a 3-year-old filly in Superstition, driven by Nick Clegg and trained by Tommy Vosick. But it's also one of the most consistent in the field, with 15 starts this year, 4 wins, 6 seconds, $16,114 earned, and a best mark taken at London of 157-3. Off her game maybe, or maybe it was just the Meadows racetrack, but has not picked up a check in the last 2. Have to go 3 back to its first time at the Meadows, where it finished 5th and paced in 154-4 at the fair London, or was that London, Ontario? Yes, London, Ontario. So first appearance down here on the fair circuit in this free-for-all.
And the number 4 is Why Not? You said a little different with the number 3 being in a free-for-all. How about this horse? Did not race as a 2, 3, or 4-year-old. Starts its career as a 5-year-old, 15 starts, no wins, a 2nd and 3/3. Last time out was 4th here at Mconnellsville last week.
Why not? And the 5-horse, Sports Teen, handled by Drew Neal, trainer Steve Ashby, owned by Zachary Johnson of Mentor on the Lake, Ohio. It's a sports rider out of Tattoo Tina by Island Fantasy. 17 starts on the year, proclaiming 1 win, a pair of seconds, and $5,293 earned. Getting its mark this season at Richwood, picking it up in 157 and 4, and that was just 2 back on September 2nd. Has the best lifetime mark of any of them in the field, though. Took a mark as a 5-year-old, he's 8 now, of 150 and 1/5 seconds at Pocono Downs. And also sport.
Make you do it yourself today.
For all the second division of, we had a free-for-all back in the second race, I believe. The purse is $1,000. It's just such a mix, really, here. We have a stallion, a gelding, a filly, and a mare. Ms. Gracie is a roan, they say. She is classified as a roan, so also a horse of a different color.
That was a good one. Oh. So it looked like they were ready to go, and then they made a late turn.
Yes. And you can pick her out, Ms. Gracie, quite handily, can't you, the roan? She stands out.
Yep. Get a shot of her when she comes there. She goes.
Oh, we've had such a good day. They want to keep us around here just a bit longer, which is fine.
Big night of racing tonight at El Dorado Sauda Downs. They have the Jim Eward Memorial Pace and the Charlie Hill Memorial Trot this evening.
You don't want to miss that exciting action. I know my husband will be glued to it.
$250,000 purse for each of those races.
That's a lot of excitement as an owner or trainer going for that kind of money. And, of course, drivers pick up automatically 5% of what is earned by the horse, and I think many of them get tips when it's in big big races like that.
Well, all I know is whether you're going for $5,000 or you're going for $10,000 or you're going for $250,000, it's exciting no matter what. It really
You are
is.
right, Frank. I know from every little win I've ever been a part of, doesn't matter about the purse, when they come across that finish line first, you're just so happy.
Let's send it to Roger for our finale.
Pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. That Superstition going right out for the lead. Miss Gracie down along the runs there second as they race into the turn. That's Sundance Lou pacing third as they race around the turn and go to the backside. Kawaii Knot is there fourth, and treading the field, it's Sports Teen. Down the backside they go. Up on the outside, Nick Clegg and Superstition to take the lead. Ms. Gracie is right there second with a rush on the outside. Sports Teen and Drew Neal from third. Now second, now sticks ahead in front as they race around the turn. Kawaii Knots on the move from way back by Alex Hawk. Into the stretch first time, coming to the halfway point. Sports Teen Teen and Drew Neal have taken the lead and open up by 5, make it 6. Coming to the halfway point. Superstition is there second. Up on the outside, Sundance Lou third. Racing fourth, Miss Gracie. Trailing the field, Kawaii Knott. At the half in 1 minute flat. 28-2, second panel. On to the backside they go. Sports Teen is now opened up by 15 lengths. Racing second. Down the backside they go. It is Sundance Lou coming to the outside, now third. Superstition as they race into the turn. Go on to the 3/4 mark. Sports Teen drawing away with each and every stripe. 3/4 in 1:29. 29 second, third panel. Into the lane, coming home. It's Sports Teen, the leader. Sundance Lou is there second, racing third. That's Superstition. Through the stretch, now moving up, Kawaii Knott. Coming to the wire. Drew Neal tucks the whip. Sports Teen. Sundance Lou. Kawaii Knott. Home the winner. Sports Teen in 1:58 3/5.
And that is our final event on today's race card, and Sports Teen demolished the field. This is the second win for this sports rider this season, and did not match its season's best at 1:57 and 4 at Richwood, but as I mentioned, was the speediest as far as lifetime marks coming into this race, setting a record of 1:50 and 1/5 at Pocono as a 5-year-old, and here is an 8-year-old and an intact stallion at that. Was a winner 2 back, as I said, at Richwood, but Sports Teen, Drew Neal, and trainer Steve Ashby, owner Zachary Jackson, they take the last race.
Well, Drew Neal made his move the first time around the track as they were heading towards the half, opened up, and then, as Roger said, looked him in the eye and went on by, and he went on by and just kept flying.
And he was not the favorite in the field, I don't believe. Wasn't... Who was
Sports
that?
Teen was at 9-2. The favorite was 6-5. Was the number 2 Sundance Lou.
Our second place finisher, Sundance Lou. I see years ago. It's a 5-year-old as a yearling, sold for $50,000 at Harrisburg. So all the accolades go to Sports Teen. He'll be headed back to the winner's circle here in no time. Taking more time to come back to the winner's circle than he did crossing that finish line, that's for sure.
We'll pick up Roger here for the winner's circle presentation.
Winner's circle. The winner of the 9th race, free-for-all pace, the 5 Sports Teen. Zach Jackson, a mentor on the Lake, Ohio. Steve Ashby trains. Drew Neal in the sulky. 8-year-old stallion, a sports rider to Tina Island. Home winner in 1:58 3/5. For Zach Jackson, Steve Ashby, and Drew Neal. A double on today's racing program.
Results are official.
Number 1, Miss Gracie, 4. The 2, Sundance Lou, 2. The 3, Superstition, 5. The 4, Kawaii Knott, 3. The 5, Sports Teen, the winner. Top down, 4, 2, 5, 3, 1 on the bottom. The quarter, 31-3. The half, 1 minute. 3/4, 1:29. The mile, 1:58 3/5.
And it's always our pleasure to bring you the live stream of the fair racing around the state of Ohio. For Trish Soulsby and Frank Frost, good racing, good luck, and good afternoon. Until next time.
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing has been presented by Midland Acres, thestable.ca, Dublin Valley Farms, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, and the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.